probably shouldn't be their quarterback. Bears got an issue. Justin Fields probably won't be their quarterback. Broncos got all kinds of issues, and Melvin Gordon will not be their running back. We'll go through all of that. The big news in the world is the World Cup. USA opened up with Wales, was dominating in the first half, dominated possession, got the first goal, a beautiful, beautiful goal, and then get caught, captured, tied. What's the word? Tied.
A draw. Yeah.
It was a penalty kick, and it was 1-1, and certainly a disappointing result after dominating Wales in the first half. I thought Wales dominated the second half.
They did. It was almost felt like Wales was playing possum.
Yeah.
Because the way they looked in the second half, you're like, wait a second. Where was that team that wanted nothing to do with the ball, that was standing there at the halfway line, just letting the United States possess and get forward? Because they looked better than the United States in the second half. And frustrating thing, the U.S. crumbled under the pressure.
Is that what you think?
Yeah. There's no way around it in the second half when you don't handle the pressure and then your center back leaves his feet and tackles a player from behind in the box.
Yeah, nobody's arguing about the penalty, right?
No one.
Yeah.
It was so unnecessary.
And he was going back. He was going away from the goal.
Wasn't facing goal.
No, it was going away from it. I was impressed with the play to keep the ball alive by Wales, to keep the possession on the ball that led to that attack where, I mean, that ball was almost out of bounds twice. And I was, the Welsh player it's like, I don't want to sit here and say they wanted it more, but certainly more aggressive just to keep that ball alive, to stay in possession of the ball, and then to get it into the box, to get into the air and make something happen. And boom, here we go. And all of a sudden now we got a penalty kick.
The chances to advance after one game, if you win your first game in the World Cup, 91%. With a draw, it goes down to 54%. So it's exactly what we were talking about yesterday.
Goal differentials now.
It's gold, yeah, because England, everyone's hyped for that game. They're going to blow the doors off everyone in this group. They're the best team.
So how much do your doors get blown off, and what do you do to Iran?
Are you able to do to Iran what England did yesterday and beat them by multiple goals?
Yeah. All right, Heather Dyke's going to be with us at 9 o'clock, the Lobo women's soccer coach. We're going to go through that match, USA and Wales. Huge upset overnight in the World Cup. Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. Help me understand that.
I don't understand it. So when you're waking up to going, hold up, this is supposed to be Messi's final run, talking about this is going to be his last World Cup, and they start off with a huge loss.
One of the biggest upsets in the history of World Cup. All right, so we got a ton to do today. We're going to try Jerry Kill at 7:15. They've got one game left. They play Liberty this weekend, does New Mexico State football. Nobody, obviously, with nobody talking at New Mexico State, I don't know if Jerry's going to join us or not. We're going to try him. And so we're scheduled to have Jerry Kill coming up at 7:15, Heather Dyke at 9 o'clock. We'll get into the latest on what's going on with basketball. Both the Lobos and Aggies are scheduled to play this week, and it looks like they're going to. Lobo women go today. Brooke Berry, one of their freshmen, has left the team, citing the violence on campus. It just, to me, this is a heart-wrenching but really, really big story. And so we're going to go there as well. We'll get into the football stuff that Lobo football is getting ready to play Colorado State. Northern Colorado fired a legend up there as their head coach amidst a lot of controversy. And so we got a lot of places to go today. 505-246-0610. You want to get started early, so we will. Jerry, you want to talk about the soccer? Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning. I am so fed up with Greg Berhalter and his complete unwillingness to try anything different than what works for him in Major League Soccer, which is absurd on its face. Not using Gio Reyna is, I don't know, seems indefensible. Maybe he's not 100%, but you're going to sit here and tell me that Morris is a better sub than Gio Reyna. The United States looked like they had never seen somebody attempt to hold the ball up before in the second half. It's like, what is this complete novelty? They're going to wait before what? Like, it was just the most incredibly frustrating second half of soccer to watch. I hated it. And I've really despised watching Berhalter's teams for a while now. And this, to me, was a big nail in the coffin. I mean, has he ever won a match outside? I mean, I know he has, but it feels like no important matches are ever won outside of, like, Columbus and the Meadowlands, where he has this massive home field advantage of white people. I don't know. I'm fed up after yesterday's match. That's what I had to come out here and say.
That's totally understandable because you know the adjustments were coming in the second half. Wales adjusted, the United States did not. And that's why yesterday it's a 1-1 game. It feels like a loss for the U.S. It does.
It shouldn't have been a draw, right? Like, just in terms of quality of player, it looks like the United States has a better team out there.
Yeah, I mean, dominated the first half. Absolutely dominated. Jerry, appreciate you. Thank you for the call. And don't be a stranger to us. I think that, first of all, I think that's the first call we've ever had regarding actual, like, on the field soccer and a game and technical stuff. Because
it's one, like, it's not like, oh, you need to know that, like, everyone watching that game was like, wait a second. It's just sports. Adjustments happen at halftime with everything. How are you going to handle the pressure that's coming, the attack from Wales? They have this 6'5" dude that comes off the bench, and they only play him in the second half. And he's an absolute monster. Kiefer Moore. Like, the United States was looking at this dude like, oh my gosh, what are we supposed to do? And he was destroying them on set pieces. You still have Gareth Bale in there, who's a veteran player that scores big-time goals.
Did.
There was a moment they almost lost the game because Matt Turner came all the way out of goal for no reason.
Well, that would have been a disaster, huh?
And then he had to give the foul from behind on Gareth Bale, who was about to pump a 80-yard goal against the United States. It is super frustrating because felt like there's zero adjustments from the United States. Wales was like, all right, we'll go back and play our game now. And I think if you're Wales, the Welsh fans should be sitting there this morning going, what were we doing in the first half?
Right there, I'm sure they are.
The United States just dominate possession, never pressured them, never tried to get on the front foot. I guess they were scared of falling behind 2 goals, but they sure didn't look like a team that had any trouble in the second half.
If you want to get in, you can. It was a frustrating watch, wasn't it? I mean, you thought there were chances, especially in the first 15 minutes. I thought a few chances that were missed. They do capitalize on one, does the United States, take the 1-0 lead. But it did feel a little light in going to the first half. It's like if you're not a soccer fan, but you're a football fan, it feels like your team went march up and down the field, but settled for field goals, and you go into the halftime leading 9-3. And you feel like you should be up 21-0, right? And you feel like you left points on the field, and you get that uneasy, queasy feeling in your stomach. Damn, left a lot of points out there, and that's kind of what it felt like. If you want me to translate,
absolutely.
You're
like, oh, should had an opportunity to put 2 in the first half away, unable to do it, and then Christian Pulisic played a fantastic game. He was great on the ball, creating space. Wales was going after him, putting him on the ground all the time, and then to not get more from that. And I think that's where the lack of a true striker hurts the United States, because everything for the U.S. was on the outside, and they're trying to cross balls in the box, and then Wales will say, we'll sit back, go, boom, all right, head this one away, block that one away. And there wasn't a lot of dangerous chances after you said the first few minutes, and then they had that one counter that scored the goal, and that was it.
All right. We're going to come back, and we're going to effort Jerry Kill, the head football coach in New Mexico State. Aggies coming off the loss over the weekend in Missouri. They will be on the road. It was 45-14 in Missouri this weekend. They go to Liberty to close out their season. Want to talk to Jerry coming up next. At least that's the plan. 505-246-0610. Heather Dyke's going to be with us, the Lobo women's soccer coach, coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll get into the World Cup with her. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A-Marie, and Adrian producing on ProView Networks and on the visual medium on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Makes a little sports analysis.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
or the ones who go before all others?
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
On the schedule for New Mexico State football, they were on the road last week at Missouri, lost 45-14. Now they go back east again. Give me some miles on it, man. I thought, well, we'll talk to Jerry Kill about this. I thought certainly the first half, they this is an improved football team. If you look at what your eyes tell you from what I saw on Saturday to what I saw the first couple weeks of the season on the field with an SEC team, I thought there was a lot of improvement. Jerry Kill is the head football coach at New Mexico State. He joins us this morning. Good morning, Jerry. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
We're well, thank you. Hey, I watched this game early, and I thought, first drive, I thought there were some drop passes. First couple of drives, I wondered how the hell they picked up that flag and didn't call a roughing the punter when you gave it back to him. What I saw in the first half, Jerry, in when I watched Minnesota early in the year, I thought, man, you guys probably shouldn't have been on the field with them. I didn't see that. I saw a team that was a lot improved. I know what the score was, but I saw a really improved team. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, the score didn't really indicate the game, to be honest with you, because once we got behind and we got to get out of our game plan and it's not throwing it every snap, and that's not who we are. So that hurt us for about 10 points right there. But we just we went down on the first drive and probably looked as good as we've looked all year offensively, and we had a fourth down and we dished it out there, and our running back just dropped it, plain dropped it. And they came back and scored, and then we came right back down. And we were moving the ball, and, I felt, I said, we felt good. I mean, even going, but, we did some things. The thing that got us is their quarterback was good. You take that quarterback off the team, and we're going to be in that game. And, physically up front, up in that defensive line, we played their best play outside zone very well. We didn't get blown off the line of scrimmage. The tough thing for us, we couldn't hit home on the quarterback because he dropped. The deepest drop he took was 2, and the ball was out. So it wouldn't matter if we bring 6, we're not going to get to him. And he knew where to go with the hot reads, and very well coached. And then he could run around. Those two things have hurt us all year. We got to get out and get us some pass rushers, and then we've got to do a better job, in our Swiss games and stay in our running lanes and stuff on the quarterback scramble stuff. But, I thought really, if you looked at it, we played much better game against these guys than we did Lamar.
Yeah.
As far as fundamentals and technique. And if we get the pooch kick that we thought we recovered,
yes.
It would have been 28-7, and then we'd had a chance to get it to 28-14, and I think we would have changed momentum of the game a little bit. But we just didn't get manhandled and things like that. Their quarterback, was the difference in the football game. He really was.
Well, and he had a lot of receivers. I thought the receiving core was really deep. The other thing I thought you did really offensively, I thought you ran the ball. What is it, 144 yards? And I thought physically, you just said it, you didn't get beat up front. There were times where I thought Jamani ran through dudes. I thought there were holes, especially early in the game. I know you didn't win the game, and this isn't moral victory time, but if you're looking for improvement, I don't even think it's arguable from week 2 and 4, or 1 and 3, or whenever you played, Wisconsin and Minnesota, to what I saw this week, understanding that Missouri isn't as good as them, maybe.
Well, you know what? Missouri might be. Is that athletically, they're more athletic than those two teams.
Yeah, probably than Wisconsin, certainly. Yeah.
Physically, they're not, baby. But and their quarterback's better than both those teams. That quarterback's good.
Yeah.
And but I would say this is that the SEC is right now, they're going to get in the bowl game, and it's one of those things where, there's such a fine line there. They were beating Georgia, and had Georgia beat.
Yep.
You just don't know what the heck, In the SEC, they're all good. Vanderbilt struggles the most, and here they are fighting for a bowl bid. So that whole group that's a whole different, operation.
Yes, it is.
when you play the Southeast Conference.
Yep. Jerry Kills, the head football coach of New Mexico State. One more left. They're going to go to Lynchburg, Virginia, play Liberty this weekend.
Well, Jerry, when you talk about your team throughout the season and the drops that they have had with players, is that something that is it in their heads? You just have to put them in the jugs machine? What are some of the things you work on just to try to get past that?
Well, I think you should not play the Power 5 for 3 games. That's the hardest thing to do, and that won't ever happen in my tenure. But I think that's been the toughest thing is playing them on the first 2 games and trying to gain confidence, and we don't get to see all our kids. You want to play some teams where you can see our players, and we've had to learn kind of as we've gone, and that's been difficult. But at the same time, we could very easily have won 2 of those games, and so we could be 6 games and bowl eligible. I mean, we were not that far away, and I didn't think we'd win maybe 1 game, to be honest with you, with the talent we had. But that's a credit to the kids, and they bought into what's going on.
When you say it's a credit to the kids, what have you seen from them this year? Is it been in practice? Has it been in the games that allowed them to take that step?
Well, I think in practice, I evaluate them on the 8 things we got on the board, and we're getting closer to that board. But it's in practice. They've come to practice every day, and they've worked their butts off, and they've practiced as hard as anybody that I've had. Just again, we don't have the talent that these other people have, and yet we're playing hard and playing to the very end and playing our guts out. And here's the deal: any way you want to look at it is we're sitting here 4-6, and if we can go somehow pull an upset at Liberty, which will be very difficult to do, but let's just say we do. And then we've got the other game that's coming up, which should be announced, is that really we got a chance to be in a bowl game.
So there will be another game, Jerry?
Yes.
It'll be December 3rd.
So I can't announce it. That's something the administration has to do. I think they're waiting on a couple of things.
Yeah.
But the point being is I'm just telling you that if we win this game, we got a chance to be bowl eligible. And if you told me that at the beginning of the year, I told you you're crazy.
Jerry Kills with us for a few more minutes. All right, Liberty's a club that lost their last 2. Before that, they hammered BYU, who's good. They beat Arkansas out of the SEC. This is a team that lost a 1-point game last week, was ranked 19th in the country. You're going to their place. I don't know if people don't follow college football enough. The name maybe not be as sexy. This is a good football team that Hugh Freeze has.
Well, yeah, Hugh Freeze coming from Ole Miss won, and there's controversy there and all that stuff, but he still won. And and I know you. I know he's a good football coach, and he's gone down to Liberty, and I encourage anybody from Liberty, from our place, to go there to see what you compete against, because Liberty's got probably, the Conference USA. I mean, they'll always be the team to beat because they got more money than anybody else. And if you see their facilities and all the things they have, they're set up like a Power 5 conference. Plus, they get all the NIL money they want. I mean, Hugh Freeze told me we get anything we want financially. We're pretty well set. And so, there's a lot of rumors on him on jobs and stuff like that, but, it's pretty hard to leave what he's got because of, where they're playing at. And I think they'll go Power. In my opinion, they'll be a Power. They're setting themselves to go Power 5 probably in a couple of years.
Yeah. All right, there's a lot of noise going around there, and I'm not asking you to get into details. Is any of the stuff that's going on with basketball? I know the players are probably buddies with each other. Is that seeped in? How do you address that with what's going on with basketball and all the stuff that's gotten off the sports page and into the front page of the paper?
Well, first of all, I don't read the paper, so that's a good thing. Most coaches don't. and get in caught. I just know what I know. And, you know, I address our team about it. And, you know, not before the game, but after the game. And then, you know, I'll continue to address it about, you know, what you do, what you don't do, et cetera. But you know, as far as, you know, us getting ready to play and, you know, and yeah, there's kids back and forth, but I think our kids understand, you know, and if they don't understand it by now, they're idiots. But you got to do the right things. And I'm talking, you know, I don't know, you know, I pretty much know Moses' story and things of that nature, but you know, we've certainly had a discussion about you know, having a gun and you know, and what can happen. And again, you know, we're fortunate to have our player still alive, which is a blessing, and we pray for him every day. And you know, when you know, get whatever, ambushed or whatever like that, so you got to make sure you got to make sure you better be sure of your surroundings. And so it's a time to educate your players.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you can't take anything for granted. You know, these kids, you know, kids, that is a different world. So you got to, you know, I'm not going to tell you who, but I shelled one early in the year for doing stuff like that. So, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, it's a different world. And, you know, if this don't wake up some of our kids, then nothing will. Yeah. But, you know, it's one of those things. They know where I stand on every damn thing. So if they choose to go that route, they're going to choose to go down the road.
Lastly, Jerry, I got to ask you this because you hit USA Today, and I'm sure I don't know if this came up in your locker room about your contract being unsigned. What did you tell the kids about that? And I've got to ask you about that, where that stands.
Well, I didn't tell kids anything, you know, and I haven't told, you know, I've had to, you know, spend a lot of time with recruits and stuff, but, you know, I haven't told the kids anything because, you know, I don't plan to be here because this thing, you know, I mean, I can't control. It's not something that, you know, I've been fighting about or anything like that. I've got my contract signed it, and not my contract, but my deal, so I can get paid. And then usually it's a couple months, you know, before they sign all. You know, you got to get all that paperwork and this and that done. It's about 2.5 months, 3 months, and I didn't worry about it. I know Mario and so forth. And then this summer I asked him questions about when it was going to get done because, hell, I needed some money from my move. And I don't get paid for that until I can sign my contract. So I just kid around, ask about it. Finally, I got a little bit more serious about it. And, you know, I never got a contract until about 2 weeks ago. So,
yep.
And I wasn't fighting over money or anything like that. So, you know, there's no anything about it. It just didn't get done. I can't give you that answer.
Yeah. No. So your intent's to be there, Jerry.
Yeah.
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 No, that's right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey,
it's just the big thing is that it come out and then they came out with this story about Billy Gillespie and all that, but we dropped the ball on our end. Somebody called from their place to interview me or whatever, and I never knew about it. Nobody told me anything. I didn't find out until the article was already written. So some of that stuff in there about me not making a comment or whatever, nobody ever told me.
Yeah.
So I got blindsided, but you know, I mean, I took more calls from the coaches that know me, you know, going, hey, what the hell's going on, man? I said, nothing. I said, I'm just waiting on the people to give me a contract.
And then I'll sign it. All right. Hey, have a great Thanksgiving. Safe travels out to Lynchburg. Good luck out there, and then we'll catch up with you next week with a game on the horizon on the 3rd, huh?
Sounds good.
All right. Be well. Jerry Kill, the head football coach at New Mexico State. That's a lot there. You're ringing the phones at 505-246-0610. You can respond to that, and we'll get into what you want to talk about on the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Report. So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashkin's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they got today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team as she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Help these guys out.
He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escaped the first tackler. Breaks a tackle. Nothing but green. Rumbling. Stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, Jackson went to the sideline and gave his coach a little bit of a handshake.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Fires score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6. Nashville. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line play. This is a star here. And he's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
Every time I see Cordova.
The Sports Animal.
All right, I think what came out of that is Jerry said, I'm not going anywhere. My intent is to be here. I got a contract 2 weeks ago is what he said, right? Is that what he said?
Yep.
All right. 505-246-0610 also said he dressed his players and talked about what happened. Talked about guns and know where you are and stuff that coaches have to talk about all the time. And I'm going to guess every coach in America talks to their team about it. 505-246-0610. Good morning, Lenny.
Morning. How are you doing? Well, that was a shame what happened over the weekend, and we could beat the drum horse. Just know where your kids are at, and the coaching staff needs to know where their people are at 3 a.m. somehow.
Okay.
But I'm just going to move on to football.
They thought they knew. They thought they knew. They did bed checks, and they thought they were good.
But I also want to bring up NIL because of what New York just passed. So I got one word for the Chargers, or two, and that's, I know I'm drawing a blank on the ex-coach for the New Orleans Saints.
Sean Payton.
Yeah, I think it's time for them to move on.
Okay, it's a good move.
From Sterling.
It'd be a good move for them.
They're just not connecting.
No, it'd be a really good move.
And it's just frustrating at this point.
Okay.
Regardless of the fact that you lost Mike Williams in the game, you had the lead with 1:40 to go.
Yep. They have Patrick Mahomes.
I know. And who's going to be the MVP?
Yep. They had Patrick.
And it shouldn't even be close.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what else more to do with the Chargers except they're going to have to do a coaching change. Would you have picked them to be 5-5 right now?
No, I thought they would be better than 5-5.
6-4, 7-3, but 5-5 now.
Yeah, I thought they'd be better than that.
So now I want to just do two things when people talk about the Kyrie incident. Kyrie gets suspended for liking a movie on Amazon, suspended 8 games. But what about the kid yesterday from a recruit for University of Florida who was singing a song from rap lyrics on the radio, recorded it, said the N-word, and then lost his scholarship?
And then what?
He lost his scholarship to University of Florida because he posted a video of himself singing that song.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the story. I don't know.
Yeah, it was in the paper yesterday. So because the school saw that, or people complained about it, he lost his scholarship.
Okay.
So how do we have a conversation where we can't have anti-Semitism, but yet in the African-American community on rap lyric, it's okay for them to say a derogatory word for anyone else to use but African-Americans?
I guess I'm not sure what you're asking.
Meaning that the kid, it wasn't just Kyrie that faces punishment. This kid did something that he may not have even realized he was doing because he was just singing lyrics to a song and lost a scholarship.
And so you're saying he should not have, right?
I think they should have had a talk with him first.
Okay.
And given him a chance to apologize they gave Kyrie a chance to apologize before they suspended him.
I guess I want to know more about it before I start making comments on something like that. I'll learn more.
And then I'm not totally familiar with all of NIL, but are players allowed to have agents in NIL?
Are players allowed to? I believe they're allowed to have representation, yes.
Okay, because New York just passed a bill that starts January 1st next year where players can not only have an attorney but can sign with an agent in college.
Okay.
So how does that affect the NCAA?
I don't know.
NIL if they don't allow agents.
We'll find out. I mean, look, there's a whole can of worms there. A whole can of worms.
So,
yeah.
I was, just a few different things to bring up, but I want to just show it, what Kyrie did was wrong. He had a chance to apologize. This kid didn't get a chance to apologize and lost a scholarship.
Yeah, I want to learn more about that before I comment. All right, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Did you heard that? Do you know what that is?
No.
Yeah, I before I get into something like that, I want to know more. Edward, good morning to you.
Man, I completely lost my train of thought with that whole thing. Hey, let me just call back. I just completely lost my train of thought with all that. Is that okay?
Yeah, goodbye.
All right, bye.
Show killer.
Hello, Tony.
I lost my train of thought too.
Right,
I'm like, where am I going now?
Goodbye.
No, but you know what though? I, unlike Edward, which is my boy, Edward, have a good day, brother. Yeah, Lenny, yeah, forget it. Anyway, is everyone in New Mexico like so let's fire the coach? Oh, this went wrong, let's fire the coach. Let's fire the coach, fire the coach, fire the coach, fire the coach. It's like everybody. Like coaches are gonna have ups and downs. They're gonna have them. You know what I mean? It doesn't run smooth, perfect, and beautiful for everybody. Don Shula had ups and downs. Bill Belichick, Bill Walsh. You know what I mean? They all had ups and downs, but everybody's so quick. Fire the coach. Oh, quarterback missed the pass, fire the coach. It's like, no, stop it already. Stop it. Stop it. Please, just stop it.
Fair enough. Thank you.
And I had some other points, but yeah, I'm going to have to follow Edward. I lost my train of thought too, man.
See you. Fire the coach. Fire the coach. What the hell just happened?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Edward. We're speechless.
All right. Fire the coach. I'll look into the Miami player. I don't know. I'm believe me, something when it gets that sensitive, I'm not going to start commenting on something I'm not familiar with. Is that all right?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to reset when we get back. So there's a couple things to talk about. If you want to get into what Jerry Kill had to say, you can. If you want to get into the Aggies and Lobos, are they going to play basketball? How has New Mexico State handled this, or in some respects not? You can certainly get into that. We're going to get into the World Cup. Heather Dyke's going to be with us at 9 o'clock. USA and Wales with a 1-1 draw. The NFL last night is there for you. And Mountain West got another big win last night, JJ Buck. Did you see that? Another big college basketball win for the Mountain West last night. We'll play that as well when we return. Hey, if you are in the business, you don't have to own a business. If you're in business, you get it. Computers, networks, remote access, it's vital to how business operates. and hackers are out there threatening everything about that business. So ABQ IT provides state-of-the-art cybersecurity. More and more business owners and people in business realize that's a necessary part of protecting your data. ABQ IT created a business model that gives you peace of mind knowing your system is secure. They'll watch for any activity that's malicious and protect your operation, keep it working efficiently, and best of all, they'll do it with one predictable monthly cost. So do you currently get several bills? One from the internet provider, one from a cybersecurity company, another when you buy new equipment. With ABQ IT, there's no hourly rate or billing. There's no hidden fees or out-of-scope charges. Your rate will be predictable and will not change. Business owners get a free assessment from ABQ IT. Don't worry about your computer problems again. abq-it.com is how to get a hold of them. abq-it.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Sports Animal.
All right, big win, Mountain West Conference, and there's a great game tonight. Like if you're put it on your calendar, 8:30 tonight. San Diego State, 17th in the nation, beat Ohio State out at the Maui. What is it, the Maui Invitational, and dominated them. They were up all night, double digits all night. San Diego State beats Ohio State, 88-77. You watch any of it?
Yeah, it's for them to get 88 points.
Yeah, no,
they didn't
this is
score
different.
in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't.
I know.
It's insane.
I know.
And they scored 51 points.
Yeah.
It was a 51-51 game in the second half.
This is a different team now.
But there's some explosiveness, and it was the bench that stepped up. They had two players, Parrish and
Ladie.
Seiko, step up, scored 29 points off the bench.
Ladie's going to be good. Parrish is really good. Parrish transferred in from Oakland, the school in Michigan. Trammell, the kid from Seattle, is going to be a player. And then the difference that Mensah makes in the middle, he only scored 2 points, but he's the returning Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Year. The difference that he makes with the 4 block shots, Bradley fouled out with 18, but they get 4 guys in double figures. That's San Diego State who wins games in the 40s and 50s and ran 88 last night. So they'll play Arizona tonight in the semifinal of the Maui Invitational. Elsewhere, Nevada is 5-0. By the way, what the hell am I doing here, right? So San Diego State's in Maui playing the Maui Invitational. Nevada's in the Cayman Islands. Wyoming's in the Paradise Jam. I don't understand. Nevada's 5-0. They beat Tulane in the Caymans last night, 75-56. Wyoming fell to 3-3. Boston College beat them at the Paradise Jam, 59-48.
Hunter Maldonado got hurt.
That's a big issue.
Only played 11 minutes.
Yeah, it's a big issue for them with EK already out. Air Force beat South Carolina upstate, 83-56. And UNLV in San Juan Capistrano, California, was a winner over Southern Illinois, 56-49. So second-round games for all these teams today. Nevada plays Kansas State today in the second round in Georgetown, Cayman Islands. Utah State will play Oral Roberts up in Logan. And San Diego State, Arizona is, I mean, that's as good as you get, isn't it?
It's great basketball.
Yeah, that's great basketball. You get that tonight on ESPN at 8:30. 505-246-0610. Edward, you find the cat? Did he have your tongue? You okay?
Indeed. You know, I apologize to you folks, Jeff and JJ and A-Lister and your program manager and your director. You guys are so benevolent, and I really try to be altruistic with people. But one of those calls put me to sleep, man, mentally and emotionally. So, and I never go after people because I think we all have something good to offer. So thanks for letting me call back in. Hey, you know, this giving of thanks, November, the whole month is giving of thanks. And, you know, when you live like the Crusher, there's a lot to be thankful for because every day is like winning the lottery. You know, devastatingly handsome, tragically brilliant, and painfully accurate. But I just wanted to wish the sports fans a great Thanksgiving week in case I miss you tomorrow. Jerry Kill, I love listening to that guy, and I'm so excited about what's going to transpire with that organization. And I'm looking forward to next year because he's going to build momentum, and I think good things are coming down south. With regards to what happened with the university, I'm no content expert. I think I always tell people the more you know, the more you don't want to know. As details unfold in life and in situations in the government, the more you know, the more you don't want to know. That's a good postulate to live by, if you will. The NFL, it's not always as good as people think and not always as bad as people think. As bad as the Cowboys felt post the Green Bay game and as high as they are right now, it's somewhere in the middle. And I've been critical of Dak Prescott, but I believe in his 90 starts in the NFL, 89, 90 starts. That was the best game he's played. And credit to him. I want to say this about the NFL real quick. 2 years ago, the Kansas City Chiefs had lost 4 of 6 games, and they won out. So they had midseason struggles. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were 7-5 and had gotten blasted by the Saints, and they went on to win 8 straight. And then last year, the Rams didn't win a game in November, and I think they had lost 3 straight. And they kind of put things together post-Thanksgiving, and they went on to win almost every game except one when the 49ers beat them the last game of the season. My point is, I think there's a team lurking. It could be a Ravens team. It could be a Tennessee Titans team. It could be a Bills that kind of pulled back a little bit. And it could be the San Francisco 49ers who are kind of putting things together.
Really good.
So don't hang the banner yet, Cowboys fans. World Cup, they do consider me to the Ronaldo of the Southwest. But I'm so disappointed with Messi. How in the world does Argentina lose to Saudi Arabia?
JJ?
And
you didn't watch that all night?
And the U.S. Americans, as fired up as we all were yesterday with 1 billion viewers worldwide, that's 1 out of 8 every people in the world, to just lay down in the second half, I don't know. I give up. The first caller of the day just encapsulated it perfectly. Anyway, I celebrate all creeds. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I appreciate you taking my call. And guys, take care.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right. So the U.S. Americans, you know where that comes from, right? The U.S. American. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
Hey, Marie, the U.S. Americans. There was a Miss America pageant, and it was the question and answer part of it. And I don't remember which Miss she was from which state. Was asked a question about something, world peace or something. And us, as U.S. Americans, we it was just Google it.
I'm a U.S. American.
It's funny as hell. It really is. All right, you know where I am on soccer. Like, I watch the World Cup, and by the way,
it's a good thing we got our favorite soccer person coming on.
I do. She's my favorite soccer person. Heather Dykes will be with us at 8:00. I did watch the match in my office until I had to leave, and I left literally. I had to go produce the commercial, but I left right after the Welsh scored the equalizer. And so I watched that. I was kind of standing around. I was like, I was into it. The difference between, and this is lay person me, you know me, the difference between soccer at that level and some of this other stuff that, I can watch that. It's really, really good. Yeah. It's really
splendid.
Good.
That's the best of the best in the world.
Well, I understand. That's why it's the World Cup. And so when people
same thing, it's like you're like, oh, here's an NFL game. Oh, here's a
here's a USFL game.
3A game in week 3.
Here's a USFL
like,
game.
Oh yeah,
I can't. Yeah. Did you watch USFL game? Did you watch one full USFL game? You might have. You bet on.
I might bet on them, but I don't watch the full game.
I couldn't sit around and watch.
Just check out Lobo Men's Soccer sometime. Though.
No, it is crazy. I can watch a full MAC game. Like I'll watch MACtion. I'll watch.
That's your thing.
I'll watch college basketball.
Golf.
I will watch.
But
golf.
you feel different if in soccer they scored and the goal is worth 8 points.
No, but I see your point. I just feel that at some levels.
That's with anything though. And
I agree that it's very, very dull. And you've admitted to me at times when you've come in, I said I watched that over the weekend, and dude, I was just bored, and you're like, yeah, that's all. Look, everybody like your thing. I'm not telling anybody what to like. And people tell me I can't watch golf. It's boring as hell. All right, that's cool. I kind of dig it because really there's no downtime when I'm watching golf. They go from shot to shot to shot to shot to shot, and I can relate because I do that. Not at that level, but I try to do that. I've never told you how to be a fan. If you like what you like, knock yourself out. Just don't try to push it on me if that's okay. I don't know. Then you're going to say, you push it on me all the time. No, I got a microphone. We talk about what we talk about.
10 years ago today.
What happened then? It's been 10 years ago today? We're sitting eating cheesy mashed potatoes, or what were cheesy sweet potatoes?
Wow.
On my couch and the butt fumble happened?
Best plays ever.
Heather Dyke at 9 o'clock. It's the open
Watch
drive.
Over and
95.9 FM and AM 610.
Where are you going, man?
The Sports Animal.
We
would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and...
Usual morning line up at 7 o'clock in the morning. 7 a.m. where have you been? 7 a.m. where is your brother?
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Happy anniversary. 10 years ago today, it was Thanksgiving. What do you mean, Jeff? It's a Tuesday. Yeah. Dates change on days. It happens that way. So, 10 years ago today, JJ, where was Tilly that day? You were by yourself on Thanksgiving. JJ was over at my house. Tilly was working. Audra made cheesy mashed potatoes. Or sweet potatoes. Cheesy sweet potatoes.
It's great. Sweet and salty.
And we were sitting there watching the Jets on Thanksgiving Day because the Jets were on Thanksgiving Day. Which
Jets
is crazy.
Patriots.
And it was the butt fumble.
10
years ago today. Happy anniversary, Mark Sanchez.
God bless.
Yeah, buddy.
It's unbelievable. It's one of the greatest sporting moments
of your life.
I remember it play every inch of the play. Mark Sanchez play action. Oh, it's breaking down. I'm gonna run. Oh, there's the butt of my offensive lineman, which absolutely destroys him.
Knocked him the bleep out.
He gets in concussion protocol after the hit he took from his offensive lineman's butt. He loses the football. The Patriots guy just grabs it and trots it in the end zone.
Yep.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. So that happened 10 years ago today. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. A. Marie's taking your calls here at 505-246-0610. Adrian's producing on the TV side. You can watch us on Comcast Channel 26, on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and on ProView Network's YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday, right? That's that big Del Norte and Pewaukee game that Grady told us about. If you want to get out and you can watch that today. I got a few thoughts. Jerry Kill was with us today, and we talked about his football team going to Liberty, the Aggies, and then they're going to have another game the following week is what he told us. And we asked about his contract, and he talked about it, and he said, I'll sign it. I mean, they just got it 2 weeks ago, and they're looking over it, and stuff happens, and my intent is to be here. And I think he asked for some concessions, and not concessions. And let me rephrase that. I don't think he asked for concessions. I think he asked for some things to make that football program, to allow that football program to be what he wants to make it. Improvements, locker rooms, basic facility stuff. I think that was part of the holdup. But if he really just got it 2 weeks ago, then there's more there. I did ask him about everything that's happened at basketball, and I asked it to him from the perspective of, there's a lot of noise around it. What do you tell your kids, because they're on the same campus? I've got to believe the basketball players and football players are buddies. They know each other. They know what's going on. And Jerry, I thought was very candid. We talk about it. We talk about it all the time. They know where I stand. We've talked about guns. He said, I'm not going to tell you who, but we had to deal with something, what did he say, like this?
Yeah.
Earlier in the season. And you know where I am. And if you don't like it, you can go on down the road. And Jerry has said more publicly in that short conversation than at MSU anybody has publicly, whether it's the chancellor, whether it's Mario, whether it's Greg Heyer. They put out a Q&A, like answers to questions, some answers, some were like, we don't know yet. And nobody has stepped in front of the microphone. And I know somebody said, well, what do you want them to say? Well, they could have said, I think it would have been much more impactful if they would have come out and said some of the stuff that they put in their Q&A. If there would have been something on Saturday morning that said, this is unacceptable.
There
this
was zero.
Yeah, this is unacceptable. That
from New Mexico
we're
State.
going to look into this, and if the allegations are true, this is unacceptable. And and if you want to throw thoughts and prayers in there, you can. But
once it came out,
yeah,
that it was New Mexico State student athlete that was in the hospital,
there was nothing until
that.
10:21 on Sunday morning from Chancellor Arvizu. And
instead of pre-screening questions, and yeah, I think there's a lot of people scrambling too, because while nothing came from it, like I think people going, well, how did y'all just pack up and bounce? And then you needed to like get pulled over to go through questioning.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah.
And to not, even if you just sit there and say no comment, that's your job. That's the PR process. It's taking ownership
It's
and accountability
it's
of the situation involving your school and student athlete.
Yeah, and I heard people yelling at me, well, what, UNM Athletics hasn't said anything. What do you want them to say? Well, what about rescheduling the game? Well, as there is no answer right now. I honestly don't know if where in the schedule you're going to fit that game. I mean, we've all looked at the schedule, and there's really not a hole for each team that you're going to put that game in. Now, there is a question: are they going to play that game down in Cruces next week? And should they? I mean, I got it on the text line. One of you sent me a text. The game should have been they should have played the basketball game, period. Which, I mean, really? So there was a shooting on campus. One of your players was involved. You got high tensions, everything with the fans and the emotions and the safety. And look, there was, I guess, down at the New Mexico State football game, there were bottles being thrown at UNM's sideline, the aluminum beer bottles. The Evidently State Police weren't doing anything about it. Nobody did anything. A donor got hit on the sideline. I mean, there's safety issues now with the emotions running this high. So I'm going to ask you this question, okay? And I ask it not in a broad brush, okay? I'm not saying this across the board, but it sure to hell feels like this is true to me in this instance. Do the fans care more than the players?
Yes.
I mean,
it takes time to be in it.
All right, Mike Peake is one of the two players remaining from the previous staff. This wasn't his first New Mexico State game. This wasn't his first Aggie game. This wasn't his first road trip. Okay? And again, please understand, I'm not painting with a broad brush, because if you're sitting there going, no, our guys care. Yeah, I think in a lot of respects, many times, and you could argue with me most of the time, but in this situation, how can you tell me that that this student athlete gives a damn about winning that rivalry game that you were so fired up about. If he's out at 3 a.m. with a gun thinking he's getting some tail.
Yeah, that's
am I pushing
especially
this?
when there's multiple players out.
Yeah, there was more than one player out. So the way I understand it is a couple other guys went with him, hoping there was some extra tail, and then there wasn't. I guess they left before the incident went down.
Yeah.
Okay. But how can you tell me you give a damn about? And that's cool if you don't, man. I'm just on scholarship and I'm just biding my time and they're feeding me and I'm traveling and I get to play a little hoop and I don't give a. If I win, I win. If I don't give a crap. You got a coach and an AD whose livelihood is on the line. You got a fan base who really gives a crap. You're betting on it, right? I mean, am I wrong to assume that the fan base cares way, way, way more than the players do?
You're not wrong because it takes time to be in it.
How much time, dude?
A year or two.
How
a
long?
couple games against
how
your
long has
rival.
this guy been there?
A year.
All right. So is the issue that
No, there's two different questions here.
Yeah.
Because there really is. The question of does he care? Well, does he care about basketball anyway? It's not just a rivalry game.
Yeah.
If he's out doing that.
Do you think this is the first time he's ever snuck
No.
out of the hotel to go get some?
No, it's not. It's not the first time. It's not the first time for a lot of players.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily think it's just a rivalry game. It's kind of these guys do it. These players have done it. It happens. But
how do you play well the next day if you're out at 3 a.m.? So you're going to get back if you're lucky, right? I mean, you get it done. You're back
done
home
it before.
You're back home at 5, and you got an 8 o'clock meeting. Like, really?
But there's an element to when it's some of these players like went through it, and I heard it from Coach Bradbury just last week. Like the first time for some players, they just don't. They're like, okay, it's a rivalry game.
Yeah, no, I get that part. And we have conversations with coach after coach after player after player. I understand that. Until you're in it, you don't get it. But, I mean, is it just any game that you just don't give a damn about? Well,
because I'm sure he or the players have done it.
Yeah.
Have been fine.
Obviously. So. Yeah, I mean, do you get caught your first time? And would he have gotten away with this if this wasn't, I mean, if it was what he thought it was? He'd have gotten away with it, right? I asked the question, and I don't mean to paint with the broad brush, meaning everybody. But I also don't mean to paint with such a fine brush that means just them, just this young man, just this team. And I don't know if you could tell me that, Jeff. Yeah, that's right, and that's how it's supposed to be. And you care too much about freaking college basketball. Now, at the pro level, do they care? I don't know. I don't know if they care anymore. Do you think this happens at the pro level? I'm going to tell you yes. You know why? Because they're getting paid. They don't give a damn. No, it's, again, not all of them. Not all of them. But I know how much this meant to so many of you. And that's why the emotions were so high, because so many of you, here we are now 3 days later, we can take it to this level of the conversation. So many of you were upset because the basketball game got taken away, because there were going to be 15,000 people in the pit. The place was going to come alive for the first time at that level in so long. And so that was, and I get it, man. That's how it affected you. I'm not mad at you. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm not telling you you're selfish, right? But you care in some instances, and I would argue in this instance, way more than the dudes who are playing. Way more. And take your calls on this when we get back. 505-246-0610 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell.
so we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashigan's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they got today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team, she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Help these guys out.
He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escapes the first tackler, breaks a tackle. Nothing but green, rumbling, stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, Jackson went to the sideline. He gave his coach a little bit of a handshake. Oh.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Requires a score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6. Now Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line. So this is where we start here. He's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
Every time I see Cordova.
Lovington can be dangerous from here.
We'll see what they do. Lucas Contreras, he goes for goal, and he's got it! He's done that twice in his career, and this time it puts his team ahead on the Hope Christian Huskies. And welcome back here. Right on time for the second half. He goes for goal, and he makes it!
Are you kidding me? Brian Ramirez saw the keeper sleeping, and he just did him.
So I asked you the question, and please understand, I'm not painting with a broad brush. I'm not saying every athlete, every student athlete, hell, pro athlete, whatever. But, you know, I look at this instance with what went down. I mean, I don't know how else to think. You care more about it than they do, which is kind of crazy in its own right. You're going to be yelling and screaming in the pit, or you would have been. And guys are like, yeah, whatever. I got me some last night, and I'm working on 2 hours sleep.
I think everyone's going to be looking to get themselves some.
Okay.
But I think that in this specific situation, there's a lot more that drew him out too. I bet. If you're
okay, something drew him out.
Yeah. Yes, there was the.
Yeah.
Hey, I might go meet up.
Yep.
Girl, but if there has been back and forth at all, we don't know. To be at the point where you're
like I was talking
I got to
about
be
yesterday.
strapped to go out
Yep.
to this meeting.
Yep.
That's a lot more than just maybe a couple of dudes sneaking out, going around, and then getting back.
John, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm still numb over what happened on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
This incident, I'm a retired police officer. This incident was a tragedy on so many levels. And can you hear me?
Yes.
Because you keep breaking up on me here.
I'm not doing anything,
Anyway,
John. I'm just listening.
Do
To
you
you.
want me to call back?
Yeah, I do. Howard, good morning. Hello. What the hell's going on today? Hello, Howard.
Good morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
No, I can hear you loud and clear. And first off, I want to express my sorrow for what happened on Saturday night, and hopefully we can find a way to get beyond this and heal. Secondly, I did not pile on A. Marie because that's just not what you do after a good win like that, especially when you're a Cowboy fan. You can't drink the Kool-Aid. Everybody, I heard somebody say, "Yeah, we're Super Bowl contenders." So let's try to make the playoffs first, guys. That would be nice, wouldn't you think?
That'd be a good first start. Yeah.
Yeah. So having said that, Dak Prescott looked really good, but he was playing from ahead. The defense looked really good. So their run defense was not able to be exploited because Kirk Cousins was forced to pass. So in my opinion, we had an ideal situation in that game, jumping out to an early lead. So, not every game's going to be like that, Cowboy fan. It's just not. So get real. You're going to get into some dogfights, and, it's not going to be easy down the stretch. I don't care who you have in front of you. People say, well, we have an easy schedule. Define easy schedule. It's a week-to-week league. Right, guys?
Yeah, obviously.
It is, And I got to tell you guys, one of the things I love most about this show is the callers, the Edwards, the Grady's, the Jesses, especially Adolph and Rudy. The objectivity and the sports knowledge are second to none, and I just love hearing their calls. And I love even more being on ProView Network. I can pause and listen to it when I get a minute. So, and having said that, I'm so disappointed in Edward. He missed out on one of his greatest characteristics, and it is humility. He missed out on that, and I'm sorry for that. Because I know being the Crusher is like winning the lottery every day, but my life is pretty good. It's like winning a $100 scratcher every day. So, keep it in perspective. Have a good day, guys.
See you. All right, let's go back to John. Hey, John, heard you the whole time. Let's see if we got you this time. Hello, John.
I don't know. There's a lot of feedback, I guess.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, well, as I said earlier, it was such a tragedy it would happen on Saturday morning, and on many levels. And first and foremost, the loss of life, and then secondly, student athletes involved. And now, who knows if he's going to play basketball again? And then the families and friends of these two young men. And it's a tragedy. And then on a bigger level, we didn't get the game. And, the pitch should have been rocking that night, and it wasn't. In fact, it affects fans a lot, just like you were talking about. The fans can't work. My son bought tickets for the game, was going to take my two grandsons, and when they found out the game was postponed, my grandsons cried. They're 9 and 6 years old, and they cried because they were ready to go. And it affects a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And the fans do care more. Mike Peake, he was born and raised in Chicago. He moved to Kansas. He was a high school All-American, or a high school All-Star in Kansas. Then he went to Georgia. Then he went to Austin Peay. Then he went to New Mexico State. So he cared more about himself than he did about the game. And it's a tragedy the way it worked out.
All right, John. I appreciate you. Thank you. What were you going to say?
You're judging someone based off them transferring around the country. Some athletes don't have a choice, and
I
they're
think that was
seeking
a
opportunity.
background. Certainly the action from Saturday would
Yeah, I just
Friday
wouldn't take
night.
away from other athletes who transfer from school to school if they're looking for opportunity.
Yeah,
you don't know what they're going through,
and you don't know what the circumstances are. I think that's
you don't
fair.
know. So I wouldn't say just because he transferred from school to school he didn't care.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people say,
I don't
well,
like that.
he's from Chicago.
What does that have to do with
Yeah,
anything?
no, I've heard a lot of that. He's from Chicago, and what do you expect? New Mexico State's had a lot of athletes from Chicago, a lot of basketball players who have actually been good players, good citizens, good people.
Is that regarding the crime?
I imagine.
Because we live in New
No,
Mexico.
yeah,
and the crime is very bad here.
I think that's right. I think that's really
awful
fair
for people to
yeah,
say that.
They're from New Mexico. I mean, they must be. I've heard, and I know you have too, right? Well, he's from Chicago. What the hell does that mean, dude? If it was a white guy from Chicago, would you feel the same way? Like New Mexico State has had a lot of student athletes, basketball players specifically, from Chicago over the years who have been good players, good people. I again, be really careful with the brush with which we paint, because now if you want to say, yeah, here was his path, all that was right. He has transferred, but let's just be really careful with that. Ray, good morning.
How's it going, guys?
Good, Ray. How you doing?
Yeah, it was bad that happened this weekend, but the thing is, I got a couple questions for you. I don't know if you guys can answer it, but that altercation happened at New Mexico State with Tim. Why wasn't he punished or disciplined? Did you guys hear anything about that? And they're coming back, and they're coming to Albuquerque to play the Lobos. You think the coach would have had him right in the room right next to him and would have disciplined him and told him, hey, none of this stuff is going to happen again. There's not going to be anything going on. And you think they would have watched him more or disciplined him and told him, hey, one more thing, this is going on. Maybe that would have never happened or snuck out. I don't know if you guys heard anything about that.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, thanks, Ray. I'll answer it off the air since you're gone. JJ, a few things, and work with me on this. So I'm looking for the Q&A sheet right now. But so he was not disciplined because of that. I think New Mexico State's response was it was hard to there were multiple fights that day, it says. Other people could not be identified. Others who were ID'd, and MSU will not comment, citing FERPA, preventing them from doing so, which is a federal protection. You supposedly you can't talk about discipline, but sometimes you can, right? I mean, we hear all the time.
What's up to the coach?
So, Ray, to your point, they claim, while others claim that it's very identifiable in there, that it was Mike Peake in that fight. NMSU says there were multiple fights that day. Some people could be identified and others could not. And so they won't comment on whether or not he was disciplined or anybody was disciplined. To your point, look, they said they had a coach downstairs in the lobby till 2 a.m. I hate that you got to have babysitters first of all, but for crying out loud, don't you think if a guy's sneaking out, he's going out the back door and probably not sneaking out the lobby? He might be taking the stairs down and going out. Like how about at the end of the hallway? All my players are going to be on the same floor, and I'm going to have a guy by the elevator, or in the hallway. If you really want to do it, like if you're going to do it the right way. Everything about this stinks.
Well, when you're talking about leaving at 2:33 a.m.,
yeah,
everyone's asleep unless you're hiring private security.
Right. Call IPS
to sit in the hallway or by the front doors. At some point in time, you're like, all right, team's in, let's go.
Yeah, we did our bed checks. Coach has to sleep. Assistant coach has to sleep.
Gosh, what do you want them
guys
to
got to
do?
sleep too. I get at some point. This is a 21-year-old man,
He needs
right?
to hold himself accountable.
At some point,
as a student athlete.
Yeah. Look, I tell my
Part
daughter
of
all the
it.
time, I'll treat you like an adult until you give me a reason not to. Now, when she gives me reason
one.
not to, we'll have another issue. And if these guys have given Greg a reason to not treat them like adults, and maybe that's why you got a guard or a coach sitting in the lobby. But then, look, but that was the response, Ray. Evidently, they couldn't ID some, and they will not comment. And they're not taking questions. They're gathering questions, but they're putting out a document of answers. Nobody stood in front of a microphone. I'm just telling you, Jerry Kill said more about the incident this morning than anybody has said verbally, publicly, from New Mexico State since it happened. If you're there, stay there. We're coming back to you. They can call IPS next time they come to town. I'll give you the number. It's 505-897-2420. If you need guards posted outside your players' hotel rooms, or you just want to protect your home or business, call IPS. I have them protect my home. They've done it for years, and my family feels secure. My neighbors feel secure. The good guys are there every day. I see them every single day. Now it's holiday season. You're going to be traveling. Let the good guys watch your home and not the bad guys. IPS will come by a couple times a day, do exterior checks, pick up mail, newspaper packages that are left. give your home that lived-in look and protect what you've worked so hard to build. Aaron Jones built this company back in 2006, and all these years later, hundreds of homeowners and business owners count on Aaron and IPS to protect what they've worked so hard to build and want to protect. Committed to our city and to your protection. Call IPS. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I know you're all concerned. Are we going to play these games? What's the biggest concern now? Is it the players or is it fans' reaction? I think the biggest concern right now is player safety. How are the fans in this rivalry? Because of your passion, because you care so much. How are the fans going to react? NMSU players' bench is right next to the student section. Right. Do they feel safe? Same token, you feel safe taking your team down to the Pan Am Center after everything that's gone on. I mean, I know basketball is secondary, but it's quite a deal here. Are you getting robbed of this rivalry? I don't know anything inside, okay? I don't. But if I was going to bet right now, I would tell you that they're not playing each other this year. That would be my bet. Now, I don't know that. I wouldn't bet my mortgage on it. But if you were asking me, tell me I had to make a decision, I mean, what would you say?
Of if we're going to see Lobo Aggies this season?
Yes.
No.
It sucks, doesn't it? Rudy, good morning.
Yeah, it really sucks. And, this is what happens when street justice is mated out. New Mexico State, needs to really examine their treatment of fans. I quit going down to the game because every year my car was vandalized. I've been personally attacked at the games. I'm talking to some Lobo fans that went down this year, 70-year-old people that were accosted by students. They were blowing hot smoke in their face. They were drunk. Where's the police?
It's an issue, man. I've heard about people from one team being hit, assaulted verbally and physically in the restroom because they're wearing the wrong color red.
Yeah, no, I went there when the last time when Davey was coaching and we won, and I was with my sister and my friend, Val. She's on the board of directors. We had to ask for police to take us out to our car. That's how bad it is. So they need to clean that up because they're ruining the experience for everybody. Mm-hmm. That said, this whole thing stinks to high heaven. Yep. You can't go out and mete out street justice. If you thought that you got taken advantage of or got the wrong end of the deal down in a fight in Las Cruces, the way these students reacted, there's got to be something else.
So do we think it's over? Rudy, I mean, do you think this is over now? Do you think everybody's got justice now? One guy's dead, one guy's in the hospital, or is there more to it? Like, here's my deal. Who's safe now at a Lobo Aggie game? I hate that this is where, we're talking about a young lady, Brooke Berry, who left the women's basketball team yesterday, go back home to Montana because she doesn't feel safe with all the shootings on campus. We got fans now going, do I want to go to a game? I can't go to Cruces because of the way it is. Well, I can't go up to the pit because the fans are like, what the hell is going on because of freaking basketball and guns and idiocy?
I don't know, but I've always tried to be very nice to opposing fans. You've seen them at my tailgate party.
Yep. You just don't like refs.
I refuse to go there. We have to be good hosts, and that's what has to change down at New Mexico State. Again, that said, the young people from UNM didn't display any type of leadership there either. And I don't know if I would ever leave my room thinking, what? And you leave your room with a gun, and then you find out more New Mexico State players had left their room. If I'm a coach going forward, I install alarms. If the door's opened after lights out, I'm down the hallway finding out what's going on before they can even leave the hotel. And it's a shame that you have to do that, but what's your choice now? Yeah. And I don't think they're going to play this year.
I don't either.
I don't see how they can. I really don't.
All right, man. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, alarms on the doors now. Like,
I mean, no,
alarm tape. If you break the seal, the alarm goes off. Coach has to get up in the middle of the night.
That's not going to happen.
I guess there's surveillance video everywhere. First of all, so everybody knows what's going on. It's very clear. It's time stamped. Everybody knows what's going on. It's at every exit, back doors, front doors, main doors, side doors, hallways. Okay. I don't know, man. Let me give you a couple things on this. First of all, New Mexico State's not the only team where players leave after curfew, okay?
Yeah, everyone stops.
And I don't care what your team is, even yours, don't think it doesn't happen, okay? Do coaches have to be freaking babysitters? And some of you are going to tell me, yeah, they do. Jeff, I've entrusted my kid to these coaches, and they need to babysit him. At some point, there's consequences for your actions. Now, unfortunately for Mike Peake, he's going to be embroiled in legal issues because he shot and killed a man. It appears to be in self-defense. He's in the hospital. And the entire state, every basketball fan, every sports fan in the state is dealing with his consequences. And he's got to wear that. And you can tell me, well, the kid got ambushed. What was the kid doing there, or the man? Like everybody's looking to blame and blame and blame and blame. There's a lot of guilty parties here. Like the people who ambushed him are insanely guilty, and they're going to deal with legal ramifications. But miss me with, well, our poor guy got ambushed. What the hell was he doing there? And it's pretty clear that's him in that video throwing haymakers and fighting. Like your little angel, yeah, he got ambushed, but accept his responsibility in this as well. I don't mean to be a jerk here.
Are fans going to hold themselves accountable?
Okay, and there's the next part.
This is what I'm most concerned about. Is I'm sure now that teams everywhere, when they hear this story, maybe we're going to learn a lot from this situation, an unfortunate situation. But can you hold the fans accountable? Can we trust fans to go out to the Pit or Las Cruces and
issue,
unite, come enjoy the rivalry, or is this ruined forever? Because that's my biggest concern. That's why we can't have nice things.
I think that's both athletic administration's concern. You know, the fact that at the football game,
however you feel about this, are you going to take it out on another fan?
Well,
this is ridiculous.
I don't know what the fight was about. It was about just you're a Lobo, you're an Aggie, let's go. And we've seen the video. But, I mean, with the bottles being thrown, with people getting hit in the bathrooms, JJ, she's not wrong. Like, are you more concerned about players on the court? Because I'm not. Than you are fans?
I'm more concerned about fans right now.
100%.
People would say, well, why would you say that? Because you just see, like, what happened, like, what
did you read social
came
media?
From it is because it became Lobos versus Aggies. Oh, your fan base does this. Oh, you act that way. That's why you're here, type of stuff.
David, good morning.
A couple of questions. What would have happened, worst case scenario, if the player actually had died? Meaning, ultimately, what does it take for the threshold to literally say, okay, enough is enough? The other question is, how much does the questioning of the athlete once he gets out of the hospital, or even now, play into the matter? Because he's alive, you can question him, you can even charge him. Ultimately, how much would that information glean any kind of accountability if he was to be questioned and his answers published?
All right, so two things. If he died, I mean, it would have been just ratchet up tragic. I don't know. Like, are you saying would they have shut down the program? I mean, there'd have been.
No, the question is that what it takes to ultimately make an action? Meaning, all this question of, well, where's the coach? Case in point, you can actually put a coach in the lobby. You can actually put a security guard in the hallway, but the cartoon version of this is you can actually have to put one on the outside window because they can go out the window, walk down the ledge, scurry down a pipe, and get out. If they're going to literally get out, you have to put them guards everywhere.
Yeah, that's fair. So I don't know. If he would have died, what would have happened? It would have been even more tragic. I don't know. To answer number two, or to question number two, yeah, they're questioning him now. I mean, he has been providing them information. He has been providing answers and context to what happened. So 100% he's being questioned and will be continued to be questioned. He's going to face a charge of carrying a firearm onto a campus. I don't know if the firearm was registered, but I understand it to be a misdemeanor to carry a firearm onto a college campus. Now, is there going to be a wrongful death suit against from the young man's family who perished against him and or New Mexico State? I don't know. I'm going to guess some lawyer is going to probably take that. Is he going to have to fight a murder charge? I don't think so, because by every account this was self-defense. But he's not done with everything yet. But yeah, he has absolutely been being questioned and been giving information. Yes, is the answer to all that.
And the other reason I was calling, because this is actually a sports show, not a news show. Yeah. Ultimately, what do you think the 49ers did to then prove themselves to be better this year than the Vikings?
All right, I'll give you all those answers. Well, okay, they got better defensively. They got way more weapons offensively. And Jim Garoppolo is consistent every week. He's not.
And they got healthy.
They're healthy.
And the Vikings are not healthy.
Yeah, they got
now.
healthy and they weren't healthy early. No, that's right. The quarterback play, while the ceiling might not be as high as Kirk Cousins, the floor isn't as low as Kirk Cousins. You know what you're getting, and he's got 1,000 weapons. And I know I say that sarcastically. But
and that said, last question: why don't the Lions get any love?
They should get. We gave them love yesterday for winning 3 in a row.
They got to be hard.
Yeah, they're in second place. No, I gave them love yesterday. They're in second place. And they won 3 in a row. I gave them some love yesterday. I gave them second place 4 and 6 love.
They beat the Bills.
Yeah, I gave them. All right, David, thanks. I gave them second place in 4 and 6
yes,
love.
You did.
Didn't I?
Yes, you did.
People acting like this isn't a sports story.
It's a huge sports story.
They get love.
The Lions get love, yes.
They won 3 in a row.
They get more love than Kirk
6.
Cousins, poor guy.
And they're in second place.
No offensive line in front of him.
Oh yeah, now it's not his fault.
No, it is. I'm not. It's always just his fault. It's not the whole team. It's always just his fault.
All right, I got a break.
Sorry.
It's all right. We're going to the phones when we come back. Heather Dyke coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll talk World Cup. Hey, you sick and tired of living with pain? If you're living with pain, you're sick and tired of it. I know. Knees, back, whatever. Joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects everything, your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time for you to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, it can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body, powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. So if you are tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics. Schedule your free consultation and learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain, which were caused by arthritis and injury as well. There's no drugs, no pain meds, no surgery, and no downtime. It's all natural. It's a treatment that can get you lasting relief, and people are raving about the results. Get an appointment now. It's a free consultation. 505-226-8688. 505-226-8688. That's QC Kinetics. 505-226-8688.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
In an ugly and totally avoidable situation. Yes. And Stephanie, thank you.
Absolutely.
Ding, freaking ding.
Absolutely.
And by the way, you're not selfish or stupid or whatever it is people have been saying if you're bummed that you didn't get that basketball game. Now, if you're putting that as the utmost piece of this story, look, I mean, somebody lost their life, and that's bigger than the basketball game. But how it affected you, and look, if you're from here, Lobo Aggie basketball is a big part of your life.
Yeah,
it's a big part of your life, and this was going to be one of the biggest ones in a long time, and you were anticipating it. Like you're not an a-hole if you feel bummed about that. Now, put it in perspective, and if you take it out on the student athletes next time you go, you're kind of an a-hole. But, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Mud, good morning. How are you? Thanks for holding.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Hey, Marie. Yeah, pretty bummed about it. I was bummed about it. But you know what? Things happen. I wish these things would not happen, but it happened. I pray for and give condolences to the people involved. All I could say is that we just, as Lobo community, Aggie community, we need these games, man. This is our bread and butter. This is what packs the pit every year, or packs Aggie Memorial or the Pan American Center. We need our fans, man. We need to keep moving forward. I think that they might not play this year but hopefully that they will just play it. I would love to see that happen. But if not, Lobo fans, there's some great games going on this weekend. Let's pack the pit every time the Lobos play. That'll be, and to heal our community. And there's a lot of violence going around here, man. And it's not just the universities or whatnot. It's everyday life now. And Albuquerque and New Mexico is a violent place. I mean, everywhere I think is a violent place. I hear things from Chicago or LA or New York. It's just we're here because this is our community, and we hear more of it. But I think if we pull strong and the community get together and we just play these games and, just beef up security, man, I guess, that's what's just going to have to happen, But
All right,
go Lobos.
Thanks, man. All right, it kind of leads into the Brooke Berry story, JJ. And I don't know Brooke Berry. Do you know her at all?
Nope.
Young lady on the Lobo women's basketball
Other
team.
than a few times around practice.
She left the women's basketball team. She doesn't feel safe. Shootings near her where she's living in Lobo Village, and then this one she went home. And you got to recruit against that too. We've heard coaches tell us over the years, and you got to as much as you guys wanted to knock on Bob Davie for this, it's part of the story. And we can even ask Heather that. Heather Dyke's going to be with us next. She's the Lobo women's soccer coach. We talk World Cup with her. I want to talk about coaching as well, and just coaching in this day and age. Is that fair?
Yes.
It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Marie, and Adrian. Glad you're with us. Thanks for remembering you listened to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends.
5 years running. This is the opening drive with three-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
All right, you got NFL last night. Niners 38, Cardinals 10. That was a great watch. USA opened up the World Cup 1-1 draw against Wales overnight. One of the biggest upsets ever in the World Cup, I'm being told. Saudi Arabia 2, Argentina 1. It's a big deal. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, A-Marie, and Adrienne. Thanks for being with us. Also, results from yesterday that are of interest, I believe, to you. A couple of scores in the Mountain West Conference that are of significance out in Maui at the Maui Invitational. 17th ranked San Diego State of the Mountain West beat Ohio State, big bad Buckeyes of the Big Ten, 88-77. Aztecs are 4-0. We'll play Arizona tonight in a 14 versus 17 matchup out in Maui. Do you watch the Maui game? So it's in the Lahaina Convention Center or something, like it's in this little 2,000 seats stuffed in. It looks like, one of these rec centers here, right?
Yes.
And the atmosphere is insane. And the basketball there is so good, JJ. The teams that they have there is so good.
I think it's become the best
invitational kind of
MTE.
Tournament. Yeah. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Because aside from the champions.
No, it's better.
And the champions is a one-off.
Yeah.
No, the champions is Kansas, Kentucky,
yeah,
Duke,
they're
and
just
Michigan
playing
State.
games. Like, this is the best MTE event because of the amount of teams and the quality of teams.
And what they do. Yeah,
they
it's
get
a
in
full 8 teams, 3 games each. All right, World Cup. The United States dominates in the first half. They take a 1-0 lead into halftime, a penalty shot and an equalizer, and the Welsh get out of there with a 1-1 draw. Also overnight, Saudi Arabia 2-1 over Argentina. Can we talk a little soccer around here, please? She is the brilliant women's head soccer coach or head soccer. What am I trying to say? Head coach of the women's soccer team. Is that right?
Yes.
At the University of New Mexico. I mean,
Probably
Heather,
on the
I don't know.
business card.
What does it say on your business card? Heather Dyke is with us. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hi, what does it say on your
you
business
you
card?
saying that you want to talk soccer, Jeff, just makes me happy. I'm
Does
not
it?
going to lie.
I've told people you're my favorite thing about soccer. I don't hide it. You're my favorite thing about soccer. You are.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
So 1-1 draw, and we've talked about this. So here's my layperson's look on it. I thought the United States dominated that first half. I felt they probably thought they left a bunch out there. They had opportunities early. And then I know everybody's showing the highlight of the penalty, which is there's no argument about it. And then it led to the penalty kick and the equalizer. What impressed me was the Welsh players' effort to keep possession leading up to the penalty, to keep the ball inbounds, to keep it alive, to keep possession. I thought the effort it was just fantastic to keep possession and just make something happen. And you always hear, keep it alive, put the ball on net, something good can happen. And just that ball was going out of bounds twice. And I thought the effort was spectacular. I don't know. Am I an idiot on this, or is that part of the play?
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I think you kind of felt it coming. I thought Wales came out in the second half with, they were just pushing forward, and they changed tactically, kind of attacked a few more players, and I thought that caused us some problems. But they're also, I think, a way more experienced team than a lot of people are giving them credit for. I mean, that group of Welsh players have been far in the Euros. They've done well in the last World Cup, and I thought you saw that maturity in the second half. And to your point on the goal, like they settled in. They weren't going to give up. It kind of felt like it was coming.
Yeah, they were. I don't know if this is a soccer term, but I always say they were buzzing. I mean, there was shots, and they were buzzing. You talk about experience, and I heard so many times yesterday, this is the second youngest team the Americans are in the World Cup field. And we always talk about playoff experience and what does it mean. And so when it comes down to that and this experience, how much import does that play? Because I know you've got experience at this level and at the international level, and people say, well, it's just another game. It's not, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, players play their entire life to play in the World Cup, and when you're in front of an audience of billions of people, it's different. I mean, it's what every athlete really thinks about, is to play on a stage that's big. So it is a big deal, and I actually think it's part of the reason that our women's national team has done so well, is because they do have the experience there, and in games where potentially they're outplayed, they kind of find a little bit of grit, or they're willing to win ugly, and I think that comes with experience. But I also thought, to start that half, we did not look shell-shocked. We came out with a great energy, a bunch of young players buzzing around. And you don't always see that, especially after 8-year hiatus from the World Cup. So it's obviously frustrating not to get the 3 points, but I thought there was a lot of exciting things from the United States.
And Heather, also the challenge of this World Cup for the staff, because it was 10, 13 days ago for some of these players. They're still playing in league games, club games, and to have such a quick turnaround, to have that focus as a team is completely different than what you're usually used to building up the World Cup.
Completely, yeah. It's brutal for the players. I can't imagine how fatigued they are. And for fans, obviously, we're excited that we get to watch World Cup, but when you change the entire FIFA scheduling and put the World Cup in the winter, it's like, to your point, JJ, I mean, a lot of these guys haven't played together for months and months and months, So I do think tactically it's going to be interesting, because you're going to have to rely on previous arrangements. And I also think that because of that, special players are going to have to rise up for their countries.
And you look at this United States team, I know there's so much excitement around it. Christian Pulisic, Gio Reyna, who didn't play but has been playing well at Dortmund coming into this. Where is this team, even with the young talent right now, versus some of the other teams we've seen in the past with the United States?
Yeah, so some interesting history, actually. So this group of guys, a big chunk of them, they actually used to be in residency in IMG. So there's been a lot of talk in the United States that, can we create a residency program where players live, train, and they're together 24/7. So they experimentally did that with a group of guys. It's probably going on about 8 to 10 years ago now. And most of these guys were there. Christian Pulisic, Haji Wright, Josh Sargent. They're all down there training with John Hackworth. And then they went to U17 World Cup and they didn't do well, so they scrapped the program. They said it wasn't working. But now you see all these guys playing at a really high level internationally, and they have a good chemistry together, and it kind of makes you wonder if that wasn't a program that sort of spurred the success. But it's fun to see, and it's fun to see just the excitement about the U.S., and if these guys do well or continue to do well, there's going to be another buzz. They could be around for 2 more cycles, which is cool.
Lobo women's soccer coach Heather Dyke is with us as the World Cup has kicked off. Hey, how do you put it in perspective? I've been reading one of the biggest upsets in the history of the World Cup. Saudi Arabia beating Argentina yesterday 2-1. Put that in perspective for people who don't get it.
Yeah, that's an enormous upset. So I think going into the tournament, probably Brazil and Argentina were picked favorites by most everybody, including Vegas. And Saudi Arabia was probably quite low on most people's list. But interestingly, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, a couple different countries did not allow their players to play club leading into the event. And some Saudis were still doing that, but Qatar did not. So they tried to get their teams a little bit more on the same page and not play club soccer leading up to it. And I don't wonder if that didn't have some effect on it, but I just thought when you watch that game, Saudi Arabia, they deserved to win, which is a crazy thing to say. It looked like a team versus a bunch of individuals, and when you have that in any sport, you're going to get a result. So it's a glorious sport. It sucks when you're on the other end of it, but man, it sure is fun to watch.
You know, what's it like in the moment? You know, you've had the experience working with U.S. Women's National Team, but for the U.S. now, you know, with such a quick turnaround, the fact that you didn't have an extended camp to try to refocus for the game that everyone had circled with England, you know, number 2 game in your group right now.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that game. It's going to be so much fun. And just, like you said, JJ, just the buzz around it. Like, it's so fun when your sport is sort of the prominent sport for a little while, you know, and people get to see this incredible game and being played at such a high level. But yeah, I absolutely can't wait for that game. I think you have 2 teams that are in very different places in terms of their talent and where they are kind of in their growth of players. Like, you look at players and they typically have about 8 years they get to play for their national team, and for our players it's brand new, and for a lot of these English guys they're getting a little bit later in their cycle, so there's expectations of success for them. They were incredible in their opening game. They were just a joy to watch. So it's gonna be a huge game with a great rivalry, and I just think for so many people to have eyes on the beautiful game will be pretty cool.
Yeah, the world's watching. It's really, really, really cool. Mexico and Poland are playing right now, 0-0. They just got started. Hey, I want to ask you, and I don't want to get into specifics of what went on campus this week with the New Mexico State player, but overall, we've been talking so much about what coaches should do and have to do and bed checks, and you, maybe it's different for you, maybe it's not. How much does a collegiate coach need to be a babysitter these days? And it feels like you recruit athletes and you're responsible for them. And, you know, I've said this a bunch of times, you know, I'll treat you like an adult until you give me a reason not to. If they give you a reason not to, what do you do, Heather? How do you, in today's day and age with everything that's going on, how do you keep tabs? And I know this is a vague and maybe too big of a question, you know, to answer in this format, but how do you keep control and know, in your mind, sleep comfortably that your student athletes are where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to do?
You don't ever sleep comfortably that they're doing what they're supposed to do. And I know nobody wants to hear that, but it's the truth. Like, if you could go on any college campus and take, you know, a group of 18 to 21-year-olds and have them make really intelligent decisions, then you know something that the rest of us don't. But unfortunately, part of college is learning sometimes through difficulty and making decisions that, man, I even look back when I was in college and some of the things that I did, I just, you're not fully an adult yet, but you're being asked to make adult decisions. And I wish I could say that I think our team does that perfectly, but there's no way. I know they make mistakes. So it's certainly trying to educate them on what the proper behavior is. It's certainly helping them to understand that there's consequences for not doing that correctly. But to assume that you know what your athletes are doing 24/7 is just a falsehood. There's no way.
Yeah, I hear that you know, coaches should know. And look, I don't know how a coach would have known in this situation. A young man's carrying a gun in his bag unless you're doing bag checks, and I think that nobody's doing that. I mean, I don't think you do when you go on a bus trip. I don't think anybody does. I look at it, and you can only be so proactive, right? I mean, at some point, it's individual responsibility, it feels.
I mean, yeah, and I'm not making excuses for any of it. I think the whole situation is just terrible for everyone involved and really hard to deal with on like, I'm not even directly involved, and it's just hard. But it's, I mean, you would have to have coaches sleeping outside of every athlete's door to know what they were doing at all hours of the night. Like, they can get up and go get on an Uber anytime they want, and you just have to hope that they make those decisions not to. But, yeah, to think that you would know what they were doing at all hours of the day, I just don't think that that's real, unfortunately.
Now, the recruiting's already hard enough in this world with the way things have changed over the last couple of seasons, but do you get a lot of questions about community and things you have to address with things like this hit the news? Yeah,
of course you do. Of course you do. And you know, you look across the country right now, like it's hard to say that any college campus is super safe, you know? I mean, Moscow, Idaho, you'd think that was one of the safest places in the world. And there's just strange things going on. So it is a matter of trying to limit those things. And for me, like, I understand what people say about Albuquerque, but I just don't feel that way. I love it here. I've never felt unsafe here. I love this community. I love the people. And I think when you know, make intelligent decisions, then hopefully you limit the opportunity for any negative thing to happen. But it's just part of life, unfortunately, in the world we live in right now.
Yeah. Have you ever had a situation like Mike's got right now? Women's basketball, Brooke Berry opted to leave the team yesterday because she said she didn't feel safe. And you know, understand if a young lady feels that way, then she needs to get to a place where she's safe. Have you ever had to have those conversations?
I mean, not directly, no. But I mean, it's you have to remember. I mean, we have up to 35 athletes on our team at any time, and all those athletes are coming from very, very diverse backgrounds, and some of them are coming from communities where they've never been outside of kind of a little bit of a bubble, and you have other athletes that this is the safest place that they've been, and whatever their needs are, you have to make sure that you're accommodating them. So it's just part of the process.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate it. Let's do this next week and talk soccer. Is that all right? Come back in and just talk World Cup next week. All right. Appreciate your perspective. Have a great, safe Thanksgiving, Heather. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Enjoy the world-class football that's happening, and I'll watch with you and enjoy it as well. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate having me on. Have a good day.
Be well. Happy Thanksgiving. Heather Dyke, the head women's soccer coach at UNM. I appreciate her perspective on this, right? I mean, she's responsible for these young ladies every day, and it's her world too. But the perspective on the soccer was really good too. Want to do it again next week?
Let's do it.
All right. 505-246-0610. Here's the rest of the way. 888-922-0610. Hey, men, ladies, are you struggling with hair loss? Don't know where to go? Don't know what to do? If you are concerned about thinning hair, you should know about industry-leading cutting-edge treatments to reverse that trend and restore your hair. NuMale helps men and women feel better, look better by getting their hair back. NuMale's medical professionals walk you through the process. You will get to choose what is best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. This uses your platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle and stops hair loss. You regrow hair. They have an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser. It's proven to regrow hair. And NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week. There's no linear scarring. Men and ladies, give them a call at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at NuMale, NuMale.com. Guys, NuMale also helps men all over the country deal with problems like fatigue and depression and weight gain, even erectile dysfunction with testosterone replacement. Men feel better. They perform better. Deal with it. Call and schedule an appointment now, right here in Albuquerque, 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at NuMale.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Sports Animal.
All right, back to you. 505-246-0610. Read your correspondence. Text line says it's a damn good thing that bad stuff like that only happens in New Mexico. Signed Colorado, Virginia, Texas, and every other state. No, that's right. Nobody said
No
it.
one said that.
Yeah.
Our whole point earlier is people pointed out that he was from Chicago, saying that like it's everywhere.
Now, Brooke Berry leaving because she doesn't feel safe.
Yes.
Look, man. I mean, the story says that she's heard gunshots twice around her where she lives. Shooting on campus. Young lady from Montana said, "You know what? I don't feel good. If my daughter tells me I don't feel safe, I'm making the 14-hour drive to go pick her ass up and take her home and make her feel safe too.
No matter where she is.
And I don't care if she's in Montana or Idaho or Chicago or Albuquerque or Des Moines. I like the fact that a young lady feels that way is the issue. Not that the answer isn't, well, it happens in every. Okay. Yeah, there's crime and there's shooting and there's violence everywhere. Yes. Is it a problem here? Yeah.
Yes.
Is it happening too much on UNM's campus? Yes. The fact that this story hasn't taken off nationally is crazy to me.
I think it was on.
Well, it's like little pieces, but the fact that, I watched World News tonight and they're talking about the Virginia murder as they should. And maybe because it was only one person dead as opposed to multiple. I don't know. The Idaho thing is crazy. And they still haven't found the assailant. But JJ, I mean, you're close to the women's basketball team, and I'm not saying that you know her well, but I mean that's an issue. Like if you've got a young lady, a student athlete saying, "Daddy, I don't feel safe," my ass is coming down to get her too. And getting her safe.
Yeah, you have a major story on campus coupled with the other incidents that Ken Sickinger was able to speak with Brooke Berry's mother about the situation. It's a true freshman just on campus, just decided to take a redshirt season. Everything, I never got a chance to talk directly to the true freshman yet. Everything you see, the practice being around, like nothing stood out of, I don't want to be here. Oh, this stinks. This was had nothing to do with basketball.
Yeah. The young lady from Billings, Montana, but I don't care if she's from Billings, Montana or Los Angeles, California. I mean, if she just doesn't feel safe, she loves the coaching staff, the fan base, the building. She doesn't feel safe. And Heather said, look, yeah, I deal with it. Bob Davey used to tell us all the time what he was recruiting against, and it came up all the time, and everybody kind of poo-pooed it. We got to be better, man. Ruben, good morning. Hi, Ruben.
Oh, good morning. Thank you.
What's
I don't
up?
want to get too repetitive here because everybody knows that Aggie player had a gun. He packed that gun for a reason. My what I'm sad about is that he took the bait. Sex. Happy Thanksgiving.
See you, Ruben. Yeah, he did. He did. He took the bait. He got lured. Yes. What's undefeated, Amory? I forget.
That.
Yeah.
And Father Time.
Yeah, those two things. Yeah. Would he be dead if he didn't have a gun? I don't know. I've heard, yeah, he had a gun. He did. Why did he have a gun? I don't know. Did he feel threatened? Maybe. Would he be dead if he didn't? I don't know. We can ask all these questions like David asked earlier. What if he would have died? What if? I don't know. I know what happened, and I know what's happening. It's the conversation. You want to talk sports when we get back?
We are talking sports.
Yeah, I guess. I'll get you some emails that you've sent in. You could talk about what Jerry Kill had to say if you want. There is some NFL stuff that we've got to hit as well. 505-246-0610. We'll get to the NFL next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Haters gonna hate. The Raider Nation.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan.
By the Air Force Base, going to the Sunport, or coming after a game after a Lobo game or Isotope game. It's a great mix of European-style beers, and if you don't love award-winning beers, they also have local spirits for you to enjoy. A top-rated award-winning kitchen. It's open 11/11 every day, but Sunday when it closes at 10, check them out at 377brewery.com.
All right, back at it. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I want to hit a couple NFL things real quick. Obviously, the game last night, 49ers beat the Cardinals 38-10. Cardinals are bad. Colt McCoy was their quarterback. They can't tackle, and the Niners just did whatever they want. Jimmy Garoppolo had a nice night. So did everybody else, and that was a win. Jets play this weekend, as do most teams. Their head coach, Robert Saleh, will not commit to who his quarterback is. Zach Wilson, who feels like is losing everybody in that organization. It feels like the players are turning on him. The coaches are turned on him. They don't like him as a quarterback. It feels like they don't like him as a person. I mean, tell me what I'm missing here.
You're not missing much right now, especially coming off a game where you complete 9 passes.
9. They had more punts than passes.
And instead of talking about the situation, going, hey, look, both teams' offense was difficult today due to the conditions. We got to be better. He was asked,
I got to be better.
Hey, do you feel the offense let the defense down? He's like, no.
No, we're good.
Do you realize how much you have to mess up to where people are now going, guess what? The New York Jets would be better with Joe Flacco at quarterback.
Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, remember? Just saying.
And it's probably going to be the New York Jets starting quarterback this week.
I think that's probably right.
And you know what? If you're Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, you're probably like, all right, thank you.
I get me some
Feel
Joe
better
Flacco.
about this.
Yeah, I get me some Joe Flacco. Justin Fields, day-to-day injured shoulder, non-throwing shoulder, Chicago Bears quarterback. He may be done for the season, or he may play this weekend. They're not really saying, but we'll see how how big of a deal that is. And your Denver Broncos have cut Melvin Gordon because he fumbled again. He can't hold on to the football. Guy who was at one point one of the top running backs of the league, not the best, but a good one, is out of a job because he can't hold on to the football.
Oh, first scapegoat is Melvin Gordon. Got to do your job. And we'll see how long that head coach sticks around for, because he's losing jobs that he was supposed to be doing, which is know how to call timeouts. Didn't do that, so he's got a babysitter. Speaking of babysitters.
Mm-hmm.
Gave up offensive play calling this week. And we'll see what's next.
Yeah, they scored 13 points this week and lost the lead.
16 points again.
Yeah, or 16. All right, back to it. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Travis, good morning to you. Hi, Travis.
Good morning, fellas. How's it going?
Good. How you living?
Hey, we're another day. We're another day closer to Thanksgiving. That's
So whatever
okay.
it is, we're closer to, yeah.
Listen, I think it's hilarious. You've had two coaches on your, on the show this morning, and heard more from those two coaches, particularly the Aggie football coach, than we have from the Aggies, and I think that's hilarious and really disappointing. I'm not sure who's giving PR advice to the NMSU administration, but it's just bad advice. I think when you look at the responses between these universities, between UNM and NMSU, it's just it's really stark. Lobo Athletics Saturday at around 12:52 posted that notice on Twitter about the postponement, and obviously news was breaking before then. I think Jeff Grammer was breaking it before then, and then several hours later, the University of New Mexico, the president posted a statement, a rather lengthy statement about the incident, expressing some concern and grief over the tragedy at probably about 7:24. And we did not hear from NMSU until the following day. And I just don't think that's okay. You're a state-funded institution, and you should be out there ready to take questions. And what we saw yesterday with them opting to go with written responses to pre-screened questions, not taking live questions from the media, no live public statements where the administrators and the coaches are out there reassuring the community, it's just bad. It's not okay. There's no other way to say it. The university has been clear that they will not make Mario Mocho available. That the Aggie head coach is not going to be available for comment. And it's evident that the university is in full-on butt covering mode. But the funny thing about this, and look, I'm a UNM alum. I went there for undergrad. I went there for law school. And we have been through our share of scandals, there's no question. And the one that I have in mind is the scandal about a particular golf trip across the pond. And I think about the PR nightmare that we dealt with in trying to cover that up and trying to not be forthright about what took place and not answering to the media and to the community. Now, this is a totally different situation. This is a more serious situation. 5 lives have changed. Somebody has died. This is a totally different situation. But when you get into butt covering mode and when you stop answering media questions and you stop being accountable to the community, the public perception is that there is something more going on. And as a state-funded institution, you have an obligation to the community and to the taxpayers of the state of New Mexico. And to sit there in written comments and refer to, to cite to FERPA when everyone knows, particularly us crazy basketball fans who are constantly trying to figure out who's going to be in and out of the lineup, listening for coaches to tell us whether someone has been disciplined or not. To do that in that instance, it's
Yeah, I got it. No,
it's just a disaster. Thanks, guys.
No, Travis, thanks. I think a lot of people feel that way. There's, where's the How in this situation is nobody saying anything? And well, what is there to say? You know what? If there's not anything to say, go out and say there's nothing to say. Who's leading? Why was there anything on the day it happened? Said this is unacceptable, and we're looking into it. And if it's true, then we're going to deal with it. The taking, submit your questions, and we'll put out a list of answers, thinking that that's going to be sufficient, and you're just going to go away. I'll tell you this: New Mexico State says all the time, we don't get the funding, we don't get the attention UNM gets. They don't get the scrutiny either. What if this was UNM? What if that was a UNM player? I mean, how do you think the media would be handling this? Do you think they would allow President Stokes and or Eddie to not say anything publicly?
No.
Do you think that would go over? Like honestly, I want you to think how the local media would handle it if it was a UNM player who really was the initiator in this whole thing.
Mexico State has not handled this correctly. From their standpoint of releasing nothing all weekend until the end of the weekend, just pretty much retweeting the Lobos post about the game being postponed due to an incident on campus. And your leaders not sitting down in a situation to at least step up and letting everyone else do the talking, letting everyone else run wild with scenarios.
They're out there. That's why they're running. JT, good morning.
Good morning, guys. This is going to be a happy call, okay?
I like happy calls. Go.
You guys are going to be jealous of me. I've been sleeping till 8 o'clock. I'm on vacation.
Yeah, he's not driving.
And,
sounds different.
And I'm just driving my own vehicle today.
right, what
I wanted to was, remember that team that didn't deserve didn't deserve to play us, that Southern Utah team?
Yeah, they almost beat Kansas the other day.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, they lost by 4.
Yeah.
South Alabama lost by 4 to
uh,
Alabama. That other team that shouldn't have been here either.
And how about the San Diego State Aztecs, Jeff?
They're decent. Nice win last night, beating Ohio State 88-77. Now they get Arizona tonight.
So, we need to respect all our opponents. I'll be at the pit later for the Lobo game, the lady game, and then I'll be watching basketball like crazy. I take my vacation at this time because I'm a sports fanatic. So it's just I got the Cowboys on Thursday, and then college basketball like crazy, and I'm just gonna go buy a new car. I think I'm on vacation, so
go enjoy yourself. Thanks, JT. See you later.
That's a nice day off.
Yeah, it is.
We'll just buy a new car.
You got hoops tonight, by the way, right here on the Sports Animal. JJ will have the call Lobo women against Western New Mexico.
Woo!
Time you hit the air.
6:30.
All right. Adolph, good to hear from you. Hello, sir.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Good. What's up?
I was reading that story about the UNM women's basketball player who's opted to go back to Montana, and frankly, I don't blame her. And when I was reading the article this morning, I noted that Lobo Village was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And it struck a chord with me because I have run into people who have validated what that young lady was saying, that there are gunshots numerous times at Lobo Village. And just like you said, Jeff, if it was your daughter, you basically would be driving down from wherever to pick her up and bring her back home. So that did not surprise me at all. The other thing with regard to the New Mexico State University's lack of a statement or a delayed statement, in my estimation, they were probably so caught off guard, they didn't really understand the urgency of the situation, meaning get out in front of this. Somebody has to say something. You simply cannot rely on UNM and simply bootstrap onto their statement. No, that's unacceptable. The other thing, I'll switch gears here. Everyone last week or 2 weeks ago was talking about Justin Fields, and I'm a Bears fan, of course. I guess he rushed for 178 yards or something like that. And I thought to myself, and I've been watching this game since like 1961, and I thought to myself, if he continues to run, he's going to get hit. Yeah. He's going to get hurt. And everybody seemed to jump on the bandwagon like we haven't had a quarterback run like this, I don't know, since 1966 or something. And I thought to myself, if he continues to run, okay, all they need is one good shot.
You know, I struggle with this one because, Adolph, I struggle with this because the data shows that the majority of quarterback injuries, including, and I think this was on mobile quarterbacks, the majority of their injuries are in-pocket injuries, not out running. But then you look at how many running backs, and JJ, you know that stat we had on starting pitchers that year, 50% go on the injured list. Yeah. I don't know the percentage of running backs who go on the injured list, but running backs get injured at an incredible rate, which is essentially what a quarterback is when he starts running, right? But the data, Adolph, shows you that the majority of quarterback injuries are not when they're out of the pocket. It's them getting hammered in the pocket. So I don't know what the answer is. I mean, do you let the young man do what he does naturally and utilize his skills, his God-given skills, or do you try to keep him contained a little bit and hope that you don't get him hurt?
Well, I think you give him an offensive line, particularly a left tackle.
Helps. Yeah, that helps a lot.
He's a right-handed quarterback, and that's going to help the situation with regard to staying in the pocket. And as long as I've been watching football, and I remember scrambling Fran Tarkenton.
Sure.
He wasn't running trying to gain yardage.
No,
he was running trying to survive because he didn't have an offensive line. And this is no shade on A. Marie's, Vikings.
Kind of is.
But their first year, he had to run to survive. And all the other running quarterbacks that I've seen, Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham, these guys don't last. But you look at those Manning boys, okay? What did their old man tell them? Stay in that pocket.
Well,
Stay in that pocket.
Move out of the pocket anyway.
Okay. Anyway, thanks so much for taking my call. I'm out.
Thanks. Yeah. What's your point? I mean, those guys couldn't.
Yeah, that's a tough comparison because Peyton Manning probably couldn't avoid a steamroller. It was coming at him in the pocket.
They had no choice.
A lot of these quarterbacks are mobile too now.
And it's you don't want your quarterback taking hits. We've seen it. Even the big dudes, like Cam Newton, he took his shots, and that's the balance. You can't take away what can make a player special, because if you have Justin Fields, you have Lamar Jackson, you want that running aspect of it. That's why you're investing in them. Does he have to get better in the pocket? Yes, but he can't do that right now because they don't have the offensive line. You're starting to see him, as he opened up with the run game, some more confidence though in the passing game, taking shots and hitting Mooney downfield, Cole Kmet. So that's coming along. It's still a process for Justin Fields, but you can't tell him to stop running. It's the only thing you can say, and they're going through the same thing with Josh Allen. They went through the same thing with Lamar Jackson. Is all right. Maybe you want to get those extra 4 or 5 yards.
Get down.
Slide. Get out of bounds. And I think we've seen Lamar Jackson be able to take that turn as a runner, taking less big hits. All right, maybe instead of a 12-yard gain, it's an 8-yard gain.
Don't lower your shoulder.
Yeah, don't be running people over. So you learn that, but you can't take that away from those guys because that's what makes them a special player.
All right, let's wrap it up when we come back. 505-246-0610. I believe I got a few emails for you and your correspondence. Still time for a phone call. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Sports Animal. There have been a lot of crazy things on the show this week, and stuff that if I'd have said to you back in September, hey, we're going to be talking about this, and you'd be like, what? Like any of this stuff that's going on, right? How about the fact that Jerry Kill was on today on the 22nd of November talking about a bowl game? Now, is it far-fetched? Yeah, but is it mathematically out of the realm? It doesn't seem to be. If they're going to schedule a game for next week on the December 3rd, a makeup game, and if they can somehow go and upset Liberty, which is going to be a tall task, I mean, they're not mathematically out yet, are they?
They are not, and it has been an unbelievable season for New Mexico State football and Jerry Kill.
It's crazy. All right, text line. Is it any coincidence, this says, that the young lady who left the basketball team had 0 playing time at all this year and likely wasn't going to play? Not saying, just saying. Well, she redshirted, right?
Yes, she took a red shirt.
Yeah. So you're saying she's leaving? So he's saying She's not leaving because she's scared. She's leaving because she's not playing. Is what I gather reading between the lines.
Could it have been different if she was a starter? Sure. But I believe that what forced her to want to leave the university wasn't playing time. It was the incidents that she heard and then read about this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, once you redshirt, you understand what you're doing this season. This also says, we get it. The Lobos do everything right. This is an active criminal investigation with pending court case, so it's difficult to speak on it, so you can't say much lest it be used in court. I'm not even sure what that's about.
It's about us criticizing New Mexico State for not addressing it this weekend.
There's certainly a line there. Okay. But
to say nothing is worse than just sitting there saying no comment.
Well, and this says from Ren, says I couldn't disagree with Travis more. If an NMSU mouthpiece comes out with a prepared, sterilized statement, are you going to feel any better?
But it's accountability. It's like you have a responsibility. Even if you can't answer questions, it's not that hard. But then to have, submit your questions,
and we'll answer
we'll
what
look
we
through
want.
them.
Yeah.
And it's about optics too in this. And to Travis's point, he's like, what are you hiding? Even we know you're not going to get specifics on the investigation. It's pretty simple. Like I feel like most people understand that, but you still have a responsibility as a university when one of your student athletes was involved in a shooting.
Someone's dead.
Someone died. And it potentially stemmed from a fight on your campus at a football game. You would expect the New Mexico to do the same thing if something had stemmed from a fight in their stadium involving student athletes, just to sit down and give you the basics, at least in person. It's not that hard to comprehend, and it's wild that people think it's okay to do nothing all weekend. Even with a sanitized statement, it's showing, hey, we understand.
Somebody standing there and looking like they're a leader and taking accountability. Yeah.
And it's wild just the back and forth and all this. And you remember after the weekend in which the Lobos had suspended players, and there was a strong push of people going, why are they even suspending these players for breaking curfew? This is why.
All right. So do you remember the party, Jaquan Lyle, that whole thing where there was a shooting? And nobody died there, right? But there was a shooting. And UNM had a press conference and they answered questions.
Lucky.
No, they were lucky. Yeah, they were lucky. Yeah, insanely lucky. But it happens here too. But can you imagine a situation where and look, I'm not telling you anything's out of the realm anymore, but a Lobo player sneaks out of the hotel and this happens and ends up in self-defense, but had a gun and shot somebody dead. Can you imagine a scenario where Eddie would not be answering questions or President Stokes wouldn't say anything for 2 days? Can you imagine the media scrutiny around here? I mean, is it treated differently? Yeah. Do they get more funding? They do. Are they treated differently? I mean, I don't even think it's arguable. Do they get more media coverage? Yeah, and UNM does. They get more money? I guess they do. But I'm going to tell you, it's when stuff like this comes down, while this is uncomfortable for New Mexico State, I can't imagine a situation where UNM would just put out a sheet of answers. Yep, our basketball coach is still here. What's Greg going to do? Like, Greg's got to sit there. At some point, he's going to face the media again, right?
Yeah, they're going to tell him not to answer any questions, and they're going to try to, if they don't ask questions. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, you know how that works. Thanks to Jerry Kill for being with us. Heather Dyke as well. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Coward after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. JJ has women's basketball, Lobos in Western New Mexico. Tonight at 6:30. We're back tomorrow morning, 7:30 with award-winning, or 7 o'clock. I'm going to call him at 7:30 with your dad with award-winning radio.
We'll hoe tomorrow.
All right. That's a hoe on Wednesday. That's really good. Amory, great work.
Thank you.
Adrian, great job today. As always, big day for you, I know.
Ooh, huge day.
Have a great call today. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashkins behind the defense now. a chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they got today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team, she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Help these guys out.
He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escaped the first tackler. Breaks a tackle. Nothing but green. Rumbling. Stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, Jackson went to the sideline and gave the coach a little bit of a handshake.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Fires score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6. Nashville. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line. So this is our start here. And he's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Tristan Cordova.
Every time I see Cordova.